Hello, creators, and welcome to Honestly Speaking or Silaholics Anonymous, depending on which channel you are watching this from, because I am cross posting it to both channels. I am Shakia, the professor, and in this video, I'm going to do an updated version of how to split up um, a print for all over or full bleed sublimation. This will work for t-shirts as well as any oversized prints, but we're going to focus on a t-shirt in this particular video. If this is something that you are interested in, stick around, give this video a thumbs up. Be sure that your subscribe button is gray and not red. Hit the bell so that you're notified whenever I release new content if you are new here. So you don't have to worry about missing anything because I'm going to give you 30 seconds to like, leave a comment, and make sure that you're subscribed. All right, did you do it? Did you like the video? Did you make sure that you were subscribed and that you have all your notifications set to all? And did you leave me a comment to say hello? If you did, let's go ahead and get into this. This live broadcast, or if you're watching the playback of it, this video is brought to you by the letters HSINK, the numbers 3, 6, 5, and 0, which are our product line, the signature letters, there we go, and numbers for our product line, Honestly Speaking, which you can find at hsink365.com. Again, that is hsink365.com. Here is where you will find our sublimation ink, our sublimation paper. With this method, you can also use our sublimation paper rolls, which will make it a lot easier and you're not going to have to piece things together. So I will show you that way as well. So we're going to learn how to do it with sheets as well as with the rolls. And the only real difference in this particular video is going to be where in the last one, I didn't show you like the overlap part. So that's why we're doing the updated video so that you guys can see how to do the overlap, because overlap is really, really important when it comes to doing the all over shirts and getting line up. For this, it is best that you have business edition. Even if you don't have a business, you just want to make these yourself for personal use. Business edition is not necessarily about having a business. You don't have to provide any like proof of business. That's just the name that they give it because the core feature of it was to be able to to cut to multiple Cameo machines. And they figured if you have all those Cameo machines, you have to be running a business, right? And then, of course, over time, additional features were added to it. So anyone can upgrade to the business edition. You can go straight from the free version to the business edition. I do have a link in the description of this video if you would like to upgrade to the business edition. It is a one-time fee. The link takes you to a site where it is very, very affordable and lower than what you may typically find on the Silhouette America website. You also do not have to have a cutting machine to use the Silhouette Studio program. So if you're just looking for a program to design your sublimation prints in, Silhouette Studio is a great beginner software for graphic designing. And I teach this on a daily, as well as in my academy, 365 Creative Academy. All right. So this is a design that, I put together last year sometime. This is not an exact template for for any particular sublimation shirt. This was something that I had to do before. So it's just a shirt outline just for demonstration purposes. No, I do not currently have any templates for these shirts. Check the comments. That may change because every shirt is different. And if I do ever do them, It's going to be only for the shirts that I really, really use. I won't have one that's like universal for everything. I'm the type of person, I create templates specifically for what I am using. But no matter how you do your template, this video is to show you how to split that up. So first things first, you're going to have to take your design and flatten it. When you are just designing, there's layers and layers and layers and layers of things. You cannot crop multiple items in Silhouette Studio. So you have to pretty much flatten it so that it's just two elements, the box and the design, that are going to crop. So to flatten your design, once you go, you have your template, you have it filled in, you have all your design elements, your bleed area, all that kind of good jazz. You're going to drag and select over your design. So make sure you have the whole thing selected. Oh, you're then going to go up to File, Save Selection, Save to Hard Drive. You're going to decide which folder you're going to save that to. And we're going to go full bleed class, because I no longer do tutorials. I give you guys mini classes. And right here where it says save as file type, you're going to change that to a JPEG. All right, you're going to change it to a JPEG file. And we're going to hit OK, which I forgot there is one there, but you know, you'll go ahead and just hit OK. I'm going to hit cancel for now because, yeah, duh, it's right there. So we're going to go ahead and cancel that, but you would hit OK to save that JPEG file. Now you're going to go File, Merge, and bring in that file. And let's just go up here. TPTM. The professor taught me. There we go. Click on that. And that opens up right there. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me go back, because that was the reason why I wanted to save it. I didn't show you guys the screen and what it looks like once you go to save it. So let's go ahead and delete this. We're going to go back to this. We're going to go File, Save Selection, Save to Hard Drive, and I'm going to go EPTM Full Bleed Live. JPEG. Okay. So once you hit OK, it doesn't save until you get to this part right here. Because it is sized to exactly the size it needs to be, I'm going to leave this at 72. You can take it up. It'll just make it a little bit bigger. Silhouette Studio's whole dots per inch and the pixels and all that, it's not very accurate like you would find. And it doesn't read the same way as you would in like Photoshop and all of those. This is sized to the exact size it needs to be. So it's okay for me to go ahead and just hit save with this at 72 dots per inch. So we're just going to hit save. So now we're going to go File, Save, Merge. I'm just going to go to Quick Access because I just saved that one. So that's right here. Now I'm going to take this and send it to the back just so that you can see it is the same size. If for some reason yours does not come out to the same size, just select your image, note what the size is. So this is 36.221 by 31. Make sure that yours is also there. So this is at like 30.986 instead of 31. If you want to, you can, increase it a little bit, but it's basically right on target. All right. So you have this. I am one where I personally prefer to just trace and detach it so that I don't have any of the white, because like right here, there is a piece that is really small and it can fit with a piece that is not as big as well. So 2 pieces can fit on there. When you have it just with the white border, you're not going to be able to stack and layer those because the white will be in the way. So I personally prefer to just go ahead and trace and detach so that I don't have to worry about that. All right, we're going to make a duplicate just in case you're one that doesn't want to. I'll show you how to do that as well. We're going to go over here to the trace panel, select trace area, put our box around it, increase our threshold until all of the edges are masked in yellow. If you have a design that has a lot of white around the edge, this may not be the ideal method for you because it's not going to close off in yellow. So it really depends on your image, which is why I'm going to show you both ways. We're going to trace and detach. And click on the outside box, delete that, delete that. So now it looks just like the original. Only difference is this is flattened. Now, here's the part that will change depending on which size paper, which size printer you have. In order to make this where it's kind of like in the middle and it's not too many pages, I'm going to use 11 by 17. If you're doing this with 8.5 by 11 or 8.5 by 14 paper, you would just set your box and your page size to 8.5 by 14 or 8.5 by 11. If you're doing 13 by 19, you would do it as a 13 by 19. Like I said, I'm going to do this as an 11 by 17. I already did this one at 13 by 19. And you can see how many pieces that is. So I'm going to do 11 by 17 now. All right, let's just copy. And just for the sake of this, so it's not confusing for you guys, I'm just going to paste it over here. All right, first things first, I'm going to come to my page setup, click on the first icon, and change my page width to 11 by 17. Also, when doing just sublimation and you're not using the machine, so that you don't get any errors or things don't size properly because the new version, it accounts for whatever machine you're using, just go ahead and set your machine to none. If you have no silhouette, you're only using it for design, you never have to worry about turning the machine part on. Always leave it to none. You're then going to go back to the left-hand side, grab a rectangle, make a box, come up here to the top, make your width, whatever size paper you're using, in my case, 11, hit the tab button, height 17, and then hit enter. Then you want to come over to your offset panel, which is the star. You're going to do an internal offset. The standard bleed for the Epson printer is about 1.125. So you can pretty much leave it at the default to be on the safe side so that it doesn't like go all the way to the edge. Some people find it better to go just bring it in just a little bit more. So you can take this up. So you can go up to like 0.13 just to give you a little bit more space, or even 0.135. Either will work. It just gives you a little bit more wiggle room and making sure you're not too close to the edge. And we're going to hit apply. I like to fill things with color because it makes it a lot easier to select things. So fill it with color, white. I'm going to click on the middle one and move that out of the way. All right. I'm going to take my transparency all the way down so that I can see through this. Take the box and place it. I'm going to go where I'm like right here, hold down shift, use my arrow key to go over just so that I know I'm to the top of the shirt. Because this is an exact template, you don't have to worry about leaving extra because we've already accounted for that. You can bring your box right to the edge of the shirt to make sure that you're not wasting any paper. Then you're going to come over to your replicate tool, and you're going to do a row, and you want the one that does the 3 or however many it takes to go across. So you're just going to hit here. If you need another one, like in this case, I could have hit 4, but if you're ever doing yours and even 4 doesn't work, then just go up to the next one and go like that. Then you want to click on your last box and move it over a few steps. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 if you're not using the shift. And even then, like it might end up, you'll be surprised that it looks small in there, but once you print it out, it's actually a good amount of overlap. So you can go over 5, or if you hold down shift, like sometimes it's just 1 or 2. But whatever way you do it, make sure that you repeat that on each section. So now you're going to hold down shift and click the box next to it. Now they both will be selected. Move that over. So on my arrow, with my arrow on my keyboard, I'm going to go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold down shift again. Click on the next box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold down shift again. Click on the last box. And this time you're going to duplicate it below. So go back over to the replicate tool and go 1 down, or if you have to do 2, if you're using a smaller paper, or if it's a bigger one, you can, keep doing this for however many sections you need it for. Okay. And with all of those selected, you're going to go up the same amount of spaces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Now we're going to duplicate this, the whole entire thing. We really don't need this one, so we can delete that. We're going to select everything that is here, and we're going to duplicate it to the right. And then we're going to, well, you can do all of them to the right, but me, I like to kind of not have to scroll too much. So I'm going to select both sections, and I'm going to duplicate them below. And if you want, you can put some space in between them. Now we're going to eliminate boxes. I'm going to click on this. Well, I'm going to take everything at the bottom and at the top here. So I'm going to put my mouse, I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see this. I don't want any of the bottom ones here. I don't want any of the top ones here. So I'm going to take my mouse and kind of go through and only touch the very end and the very top. So starting here, click, I got my marching ants. I'm going to come across, bring my mouse down just so that I can barely select those boxes. I don't want to touch my shirt. And I'm going to hit delete on my keyboard because I don't need those. Here at the top, you're going to select the second box, hold down shift, select the fourth box. Then on the next one, the first box and the third box. If you have more boxes because you're using a smaller sheet of paper, you're going to select basically every other box. And then we're going to hit delete. So that leaves first and third here, second and fourth. You're going to select the first shirt, go over to modify and crop. Select the second shirt, crop. Come down to the bottom, click on the middle, hold down shift, click on the end and the end, and hit delete on your keyboard. Select the shirt and the boxes, crop. Select the shirt and the box, crop. All right. Now these two may be able to go on the same sheet. Oh, don't delete your box, make a duplicate of it. So this one, I'm going to go back and do an internal offset, and I'm going to make that what I did 0.135 because we're going to need that. Now, if you want, you can definitely just take each shirt and center it to the page. So I'm going to show you, if you don't want to do the next step, you can do what I'm about to do now. You're going to click on one of the pieces and you're going to hit this icon right here. It's center to page. If you hover your mouse, it says center to page. You're going to center that, and then you're just going to go print. So you're going to go do your regular stuff for printing. I'm going to zoom in so you can see that it is not, this is like kind of sort of on the line for where it won't print. I have a little bit more space on that side. I can move that over just a little if I want. But once it's centered, it's normally pretty good. So you would send that to print. Once you send it to print and it spools, you're going to just move this out of the way. Click on the next one, center to page, print. Center to page, print. Center to page, print. Center to page, print. And then this one, let's see, can we get them both on there? Yes, we can. If you have to rotate it, that's fine. But I really didn't have to rotate it. It definitely fit on there. And then you would print that. My preferred method of doing it is I will take this, and I know I have, wait, when it's spread out, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to do 6 of these. And to make this, and this is like me doing it the first time, to make this easier for yourself, you can always do this, like, create yourself a folder or a file, should I say, and you already have your, your extra boxes to crop and all that stuff. You already have that set up. Save it as your all over like template and or split template, kind of like how I did with the one for Cricut. So one for Cricut Design Space, I have a file that will set it up to where it will stay within those parameters and print, what is it, 9.25 by 6.75. So it's already set up to overlap. I don't have one for Silhouette because you guys can do that, yourself in Silhouette Studio. All right, so now that we have 6, I typically go and send all of them to the back. So I make sure they're all to the back. And then I click and center these and group it. Oops, not center to page. Make sure you choose the center one. And I like keyboard shortcuts. It makes it move so much faster. So Control G, Command G on a Mac, or just right click and group. Oh, I keep hitting the wrong one. And then for the last one, it is these here, center them, group. Then I will take all of these, center them, and center them to page. So whichever one is on top, once I see that again, I know that I've done all of them. So I would go File, Print, and then send it to the back. File, Print. I actually like to use my shortcuts up here. Send to the back. File, Print. Send to the back. Send to the back. Send to the back. Send to the back. Once I see my original one, I know that I've done all of my pages, because sometimes with moving them around, unless you do it where you get it becomes consistent for you to move them all and just stack them, It can be kind of confusing. So I like to just have them all on there. And then I just look for whichever one was the first one. I look for that one to come back around. All right. So I'm going to go through that one more time. I'm going to do the method where I'm not going to split up. I'm not going to trace and detach. But what I'm going to do for this one, I'm going to do it as if I'm doing using the roll paper. And I'm going to use the 8.5 size. It will be the same thing if you're doing 13 by the 13-inch rolls. So we're going to go to the box. And I'm going to go with 8.5. My height, this was what, 31? Yeah. So height, I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. So I'm going to go 32. Because it's going to cut down when we, what did you do here? 8.5. There we go. Now I'm going to go over to my offset, do an internal offset. Now with this one, I typically tend to go in a little bit more. So I'm going to go in 0.15. Because of the rolls, they can't, sometimes it can shift depending on if you did not load it right. So to make sure you have a little bit more room, I like to go in a little bit more when I'm using the roll paper. So I'm going to go 0.15 and hit enter. Select both boxes, make them white. I'm going to move this off to the side. Duplicate this one. So let's just duplicate. Take my transparency down. So we're going to line this up. And then do the same thing, replicate it. And so now I will need really only 2 sets of this because I don't have a bunch of cropping to do. So we're just going to select everything and duplicate it to the right or down, up, either one time. So I want to click on the second one, hold down shift, click on the fourth one. Then I'm going to click on this one. I'm going to click on the first one, the third one, and the last one. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. No, I almost forgot to overlap. So click on the first one. This is the whole purpose of me doing it the second time. I'm going to show you what it looks like if you hold down shift. So I'm going to click on this last one, hold down shift, and use my arrow key. You see how that jumped a little bit more? It's not like a small increment. And so now I pretty much have that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So hold down shift, click on this one and tab it over. You can keep shift held down because you're going to use it for each of these steps. So leave your shift button engaged. Click and hit your left arrow. Click, hit your left arrow. Now you have your overlap. Select everything and now duplicate it to the right and remove the ones you don't need. So again, the second one, hold down shift, click on the fourth one, the first one, the third one. I'm just going to hit delete and then move my screen over. The last one, delete. Drag and select over this set, modify and crop. Drag and select over this set, crop. So you see here where you have this piece and you have all of this white. So had we trace and detach from the beginning, it would already be ready to put over here. So what I'm going to do now is just trace and detach this one piece. So we're going to go select trace area, take our threshold up, trace and detach, move this little piece, bring it to the front, move this over here, and delete. Now this one, we're going to group together. These are all the same size. It's not like when you're using the sheets and some of the pieces are not quite the same size. These are pretty much all the same size. So I'm going to select it all, center them, and then now let me set my page size. Go back up to the top, make the width 8.5 by 32, and center the page. So there is a little bit there. And this is one of the reasons why I like to put it on the white again, because I do see some here. I thought that I wouldn't see it, but we still do. See, I think it might be that only that one that's like that, because the rest of them, I don't see it. Send to the back. See, I don't see a little peekaboo of the other one because they're all the same size. Send to the back. It's just this one where I was seeing what was behind it. So I would do all of those and then maybe just center this to page. Or you could always do like I did on the first one. Take this piece here and send it to the back, make duplicates, center them, group them, that whole thing. But you can do it one by one also. All right. Now, as far as printing this, I've done videos for like the rolls, your regular paper. You're just going to print it like regular paper. I'm going to go over really quickly for how to do the rolls. I'm going to go File, Print. Then we're going to go to my Sublimation printer. Well, let's just go to my 2720 Sublimation printer because I only did 8.5. And we're going to go Preferences. Watch my video on how to set your presets. But for your document size, I'm going to go to the roll prints right here. So my document size is already set. And just to show you what that is, you go to User Define, and you're going to put in 8.5 by 47.24, no matter what size I'm printing, whether it's 24 inch, 20 inches, 36 inches, 40 inches, 45 inches, 47 inches. I still set everything to the 47 inches. If there's nothing there, it's not going to print anything, but it makes it to where you don't have to keep up with a lot of different sizes or have a custom size for every size print. Just set it to the max size. Your design page size is what needs to change, not the print size. So you're just going to make that 8.5 by 47.24. You're going to save it under a name. Like for me, I have it HS Subroll 8.5 by 4.25. So I'm just going to cancel it. And then that will be there. That's what you'll always, that's what you'll set it to. But of course, you want to also make your presets and you won't have to worry about that at all. Plain paper, bright white. All this is exactly the same as all my other settings. Plain paper, bright white, high quality, quiet mode on. It doesn't matter for high speed, mirror image, custom advanced, Adobe RGB 1.8. That part doesn't matter anymore. Maintenance, extended settings. Now for this one, our roll paper is tacky. And the pizza wheels and tacky don't really like each other. So you have to take your density down. You won't see a major difference, if any, especially when you're going to fabrics. So I typically, depends on, how your printer prints out. If it's something that's really dark colors, you may have to take your density down some more. You may have to, clean your rollers consistently. But anywhere from 12 to 20 is, range depending on your printer, because every printer is different. All right. And then I'm just going to hit OK on that. If we go over to more options, more options too. This is where you can save your presets. That way you can be like me and only hit one tab and it sets everything for you. You don't have to keep doing it. It may seem like a lot to go through those, but once you go and you set up your presets, all you have to do is just click on one and it'll automatically change it to whatever it needs to be changed to. Also, make sure that if your print is like this, that it is in portrait mode. It's happened to me more than once where I will forget I'm doing something else and it was in landscape, or it'll jump to landscape and then I ruin a print. So make sure that it is on portrait mode. And that's it. Then you're going to print it out. I have a video from August of 2021. If you want to go back and watch that during Silaholics Anonymous Crafty Business Awareness Month, and I showed how to do that. I cannot tell you when I'll do another one. Actually, I think I did one more since then live. I think maybe not, because I didn't do AJ's shirt, so probably not. I'm not sure. But there's only a few videos over on Honestly Speaking's YouTube channel that will show you piecing them together, because I personally don't care to do these shirts. Y'all like these. I don't. So I don't do too many actual live demos. It's not like I'm doing a lot of orders with these. I prefer not to do them. All right. But that is how you split it in Silhouette Studio. So again, you will need Business Edition in order to have like a really good crisp picture. Now, if you don't have Business Edition, what you can do, we're going to take this design. We're going to put a box around it, fill that with white, send it to the back. Try to zoom in to right where the shirt is. And I'm going to zoom out because we want to see all of it. Now, if you have really, really big shirts, not going to see it, as it's not going to, when you blow it up, it may be a little more pixelated. So we want it to be right to where you can see all of the shirt. Probably need to go out just a tad. See, no one has time for this. This is a lot to make sure it's right there. Then you're going to take a screen grab or a snippet or a screenshot, depending on which computer you have. Because I know Macs is called something different. For PC users, it's called a snipping tool. Just go to your search at the bottom, type in snipping, it'll pop up. So my snipping tool is here. I'm going to go new. And then you're going to draw a box. Make sure that you fully have the shirt in there. Try and get it as close as possible and not leave a lot of space around it. And then you'll have a snippet of it. And then from there, you can just paste it. See, it's going to be really small. You're going to have to increase your size to match, which I'm somewhat, right up on it. So I should be able to just stretch this to 31 inches, give or take a little bit more. And then that's going to, let me see, we're going to send it to the back. Probably have to make it a little bit wider or bigger. So you see the difference in them, in that this is nice and sharp. This is not. So can you use the snipping tool? Yes. Is it going to be the greatest image? No. However, with sublimation, this little bit of pixelation isn't that big of a deal because of the sublimation process. So you can test this out before you get Business Edition to see if you even want to get it and if this works for you. But you can see there is a slight difference. And this is the one that the JPEG that we brought in. This is not the original because you can see the edit points. So Silhouette Studios, saving as a JPEG, screenshots. All right, let me pull that one, bring it to the front. I was hoping you can see it better, but you can see sharp, not so sharp. All right. So thank you guys so very much for joining me this afternoon for this. Yes, Ms. Johnson, this one will stay up. This is not one that's moving to the members. This is because I already have this video up. So this is an updated version of that one. So yes, this will stay up. Thank you so very much for sharing it out to a Facebook group. And no, Danny, there is no way to make it stay on none permanently because a lot of times when I go out and come, like if I shut my computer down and come back in, it is set back to it. And then there's other times where, like if I just shut Select Studio and I open it back, it's still on none, but there's nothing to like go on and say permanently stay on none. All right. Alrighty, guys. Thank you guys so very much. Again, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you have not done so already. If you have multiple YouTube channels, subscribe from them all. So that way you don't miss me if you're on another YouTube channel. Hit the bell and make sure that your notifications are set to all. Give this video a thumbs up. Hit that share button and share it out. Leave a comment just to say, hey, how you doing? Let me know if this worked for you. Drop a thank you, refer somebody, and all that good jazz. And as always, visit our website for your sublimation supplies. So you can get those rolls of sublimation paper at hsinc365.com. Again, that is hsinc365.com. We have some of the most affordable prices for creative entrepreneurs on the market. Doubt you'll find a better value anywhere else. And our sublimation ink bottles are the big boys. They are 140 milliliters, or someone else asked, it's like a little under 5 ounces of ink. And our bottles currently, depending on when you're watching this, today is January 13th, 2022. Now, if you're watching this video, January 13th, 2023, prices may have changed, but as of today, and, you know, for the foreseeable, until there's a really crazy inflation, our bottles are 1563, 365 backwards. Okay. And then of course the full set is 5563. So 365 backwards. All right. All of our prices include 365 or 30 in some way, shape, or form because our game-changing sublimation paper allows you to sublimate as low as 365 degrees and as fast as 30 seconds. I'm really done this time. Until next time, guys, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity and be ink credible. Peace.